Hello, everyone. It's Mark again, coming back at you with the same thing, hockey stats. This time, it's the most goals ever scored in a single season, which is a little bit more diverse than than the points per season. The last video, points per season, the top 13 all-time most points scored in a single season. The top 13 totals. 9 were Wayne Gretzky, 4 were Mario Lemieux. So it was dominated by 2 players. The goals, it's much more diverse. There's a lot more names. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go with the top 14. That means 70 and above. So 14 times someone has scored more than 70 goals in an NHL season. Okay. I have it on the screen here at hockeyreference.com. Wonderful website. There's also baseballreference.com, which is, again, a wonderful website. And, of course, there's football reference and basketball reference. There's college football and pro football. And I remember when I worked at WU, I mentioned this to Matt Gorney and Paul Roberts. And I said, Paul, and you guys... Paul Roberts was a sports guy at WU at the time, over 10 years ago. And he's like, really, that's good. I'm like, baseball reference. It's great for like baseball stats and everything. But anyway, I'll try to keep this under 6 minutes, maybe. So, okay, we talked about it last time. The most goals ever scored in a single season was 92. Wayne Gretzky, 81-82. 92. Second overall was 87. Which was Wayne Gretzky again. A little domination by Wayne Gretzky. That was in 83-84. That was the year I was born. So that's cool. That was the first year that the Oilers won the Cup, too. They beat the Islanders. The Islanders were going for 5 straight Cups. They couldn't do it. Oilers beat them in 5 games. And then last time I made a mistake. I said that Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky were the only men to score over 85 goals a season. That's incorrect. Brett Hull is next on the list at third all-time with 86. And he did that in 90-91. So Brett Hull, of course, is in the Hall of Fame, the Golden Brett. His father, Bobby Hull, played for the Blackhawks back in the 60s and 70s. Was famous for leaving the NHL to go to the WHA, which is a fly-by-night organization, which I'll actually talk about maybe in a future video. WHA was kind of like the ABA to the NHL. It was a competitor league. It was not as solid as the NHL. Teams would move in the middle of a season and then just stop playing. I mean, they just would run out of money. And they would move 2 or 3 times, They would move twice a season and then just stop playing. So they were trying to the WHA always tried to undercut the NHL every chance they got. Okay, so I got to move here. I got to keep it under 6 minutes. So okay, the next 4. Number 4 is Mario Lemieux, 85. He was number 4 with 85. Number 5 is Phil Esposito. Now, Phil Esposito scored 76 in 1970-71. Now, he had the record for most goals ever scored with 76 until Wayne Gretzky broke it with 92. He had 16 more goals. He didn't beat it just by 1 goal. He blew it out of the water with 16. And I read somewhere on Wikipedia that Phil Esposito, to score 76 goals, it took Phil Esposito 500 shots, like 550 shots. Wayne Gretzky scored 92 goals in like 370. So the shooting percentage was much higher for Wayne Gretzky. But Phil Esposito, man, he played in an era where he was just bigger than everybody else, and he would just park himself right in front of the net. No one could move him. And he would stay out there for like 2 or 3 minutes, which in hockey is an eternity. Considering nowadays, that you only have a shift that lasts maybe 45 seconds to a minute at most. So anyway, so continue here. Let's just go over just one thing. So I'm looking here. Okay, so Wayne Gretzky and Brett Hall are the only two players to score more than 70 goals 3 times. Brett Hall, of course, had 86. He also had 72, and then he had 70 in 2 other years. Wayne Gretzky is on here 1, 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's on 4 times in the top 14. So not as dominant as the point total, which is very funny because Wayne Gretzky really wasn't a goal scorer. He was a playmaker. But he has the all-time record for most goals. Mary Lemieux did it twice, 85, and then he did it again and did 70 the year before. Yeah. There's some other names on this list that I remember. Early 90s. Tied at 76 with Phil Esposito is Alexander McGillney and Teemu Selanne. You probably have never heard those names. And I was looking into this. Alexander McGillney is not in the Hall of Fame, and I was very surprised by that. Teemu Selanne is in the Hall of Fame. Teemu Selanne, this was actually his rookie year. And McGillney and Teemu Selanne scored 76 the same year, 92-93. Alexander McGillney, Russian, at the time playing for the Buffalo Sabres. He would eventually play for the Canucks and the Devils as well. Teemu Selanne was a rookie that year, which was the record, and it still stands to this day for the most goals scored by a rookie at 76. Teemu Selanne from Finland. He would go on to play for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and become one of their first superstars with Paul Kariya. Who else? So we got Wayne Gretzky, Brett Hall, Wayne Gretzky, Yari Curry, another good player. He scored 70 in 84-85. Playing alongside, guess who? Wayne Gretzky for the Oilers. That was the Oilers' second championship against the Flyers. And they beat the Flyers in 5 games. I'm a Flyers fan, so. And then Mary Lemieux and Bernie Nichols. Rounding it out, number 13. 12, 13, and 14. Bernie Nichols scored 70 in 88, 89 for the Kings, playing alongside, guess who? Wayne Gretzky. Or at least he played on the same team as Wayne Gretzky. I don't know if he played on the same line as Wayne Gretzky. I didn't know that. That was right after Wayne Gretzky got traded to the Kings. So there you go. And I looked at Bernie Nichols' stats. Let me see here. I'm just going to click on him. But he scored 70 goals that year. 70 goals that year. His next previous high, career high, is 48. He scored 22 more goals when Gretzky showed up. That's the Gretzky effect. He lifted everybody else with him. I'm sorry, 46. Yeah, he scored 46 and 84-85 before Wayne Gretzky was traded to the Oilers. Traded from the Oilers to the Kings. Wow. And that was the top 14, 70 and above. And I'm looking at this, and the next name on that, the top 15, was Mike Bosse, who scored 69. You think, oh, he's like, Mike Bosse was no slouch either. He played for the Islanders in the late 70s, early 80s. I think he owns the record for most consecutive 50-goal seasons, even more 50-goal seasons than Wayne Gretzky did, at least consecutively. But he's in the Hall of Fame. He only played 10 years, and he scored 500 goals. So he averaged 50 goals in his entire career. It's just incredible. And he played with Brian Trottier in late 70s, early 80s with the Islanders, and they won all the championships. And then Wayne Gretzky came around, and everyone forgot him. So, all right, that's pretty much it. Oh, under 10 minutes. Whatever. See ya.